welcome here guys to the Sensei stand here at Chicago. This is my model Larissa. So what we can see is that the last time Larissa had a haircut, it's been taken an undercut shorter under here, which is looking to grow out. So what we're looking at doing here is creating an asymmetric graduated bob. So we're going to keep this area here and sharpen that up, rework this down so that we've got a nice balanced line that actually works all the way up and into this area through here. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to work to our shortest point. So you can see that we're allowing this area to come down. We're just going to sharpen up this line through there to give us our baseline here. So there's the bit that we're going to work to. So very gently using the swivel thumb to work round so that I can keep my arm in a downward position. And as we work through to this area, we're allowing the hair to sit natural, and we're going to follow and create a line to actually work from here all the way round, and then to balance into this side as well on that bottom area through there. So we work from there. So you'll see this line will work round and in to that line there. So what we're doing is we're actually keeping the maximum amount of length, incorporating into the fact that we have a little bit of length there, but we don't want to grow this too much because that underneath section will never actually reach that area once we get there. So we're just going to work through the haircut section by section. We're going to create the back area. Now this area is very thick and very dense in the haircut. So just continuing to work with those, making sure that the hair is nice and wet. Okay. So you can see our guideline underneath. So again, just working in a freehand motion. So because the hair has got movement to it, we're working with a little bit of tension. And again, look at the way that we're working with the swivel thumb. Rather than working right up, we're bringing it down to work in an ergonomic and comfortable way. So just as each layer works down towards the bottom, just sharpening, so you can see now that we're starting to create that length. And when we work with the hair, it's very important to actually comb the hair in the correct direction. This is the way the hair is going to be worn. So you can see that that line will take us from this side. As we work all the way around, that will incorporate into keeping the length here on the other side. So we're just going to continue to work up the head. The hair itself is really fairly thick, so just make sure it's properly damped down. Now, we can work through these sections a little bit faster now because we have a good solid baseline to actually work to. So I'm combing the hair out of the way, combing it back down and in, following the contour. This is where we are gradually changing the angle of the scissors, keeping the shoulder in the correct position, just working down into our baseline on the other side. as we're starting to reach the top area of the haircut, one of the things that you'll notice is that the top layer doesn't reach the bottom. So part of the reason for this is because there's layers in the hair which are shorter through here, but we will incorporate those into the graduation. Still just creating that shape to follow all the way around and bring in through here. We work on the other side, still following the contour down. Okay. Making sure that the hair is thoroughly wet, because we've been holding and thinning the hair up. We want to make sure there's no root lift. It's here, slightly forward. Okay, so this is our final section. So we're working with this section, again, angling down, following the contour of our guideline. Now this is the one we make sure this line is perfect to work all the way around. And each time we do this, we're leaving a fraction longer and longer each time. This just allows the hair to bevel under. And you can see we start to get that really nice, solid baseline. Now, because this is very slightly different, because on this side we have the area here which is undercut, so we are allowing this to come down. We've got the rest of the section up here that we will continue to work with. So the reason that we allowed this area to stay down initially rather than pinning up was because I needed to know where my guideline was to actually allow this to work round and up. So just going to tap this thoroughly as we work around. Okay, so we hold the hair, create a blunt line, we work that line down and into another line of hair here. Okay, so let's bring the rest of this side. So we're actually just got one or two individual hair extensions in here to add a little bit of colour. So just making sure we're gentle as we come over and comb over the extensions. Okay, so you can see now we've created almost, it's a page style on this side. So the classic page boy shape. So you can see we're getting that line running all the way in, all the way round. Through there. Now, what we will do, any small hairs underneath, any bits that we need to double check, we'll do this once we've dried the hair. Just purely and simply, it's easier to control at that point. So as we work on the opposite side, so again, this haircut at the end of it will look really quite advanced and quite intricate, but when you actually think about what it is that we've done, we've mixed and blended two haircuts together. So we've separated from there, we've created a page boy style on this side, which is effectively the same as a straight bob, it's just shorter at the front and longer at the back. As we've then created that side, we've then created an inverted bob, which is shorter at the back and longer at the front, as we work all the way around. So two very simple haircuts, just blended together to create a really nice shape. So let's go. Okay, so now on the other side, on this side here, we allowed one section to be down. So what that section did, was that section was our guideline to create the length on the bottom, coming round from here to here. So if we section this hair off, and then we continue this line around, so again, still looking, and when you look at actually the angle you work out with your scissors, you're continually adapting to suit the position that you are working on the head. So again, true ergonomics, which is ideal for all scenarios. So, working up. Working down over the top. Sharpening those lines. Okay, so we're going to work here with the remainder of the hair because we know that there's layers on this, which means that that will not come down and meet the bottom. Okay. Now, this is one of the areas in which, when we look at the haircut, one of the things that I could see was the fact that I wanted to shake the head for me. I wanted to go all the way one way and all the way the other. Okay, keep going. Yeah. Okay, so when we do this, you can see that the hair itself is quite square and is quite bulky. So again, if you look at the amount of bulk that we have here, everything on this haircut that causes us a problem is all the top layers. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go in and we're going to graduate these layers. So we want to give this effect. So we're going to make it a graduated, asymmetric bob all the way round. So just graduating through these back areas. I'm going to use a razor. We've got two different types of razor. We're just going to go over and soften this top area for us. So you can see, just by working through that hair, what this does is it starts to remove the bulk on the bottom. work slowly round the head. So you can start to see creates this shorter graduated area through there. Now, as we work towards the side area, we have to be careful because not only do we have no hair here, we also have no hair here because this area does not reach that bottom section. So we must graduate to keep the haircut feeling the same. So, and what I mean by that is, when you look at this area, you can see it's thick and club cut. Whereas when you look at this area, you can see it's softer and more graduated. So we need to have it feeling the same, and it will swing and work that way. But again, just very, very gently layering that top section. Just be aware, just really soft. So we actually start to get that graduation, that curve working all the way through that haircut. So we're just going to go in again where it's thicker through the bottom and we've got hair underneath. We're just going to graduate that very slightly more. And what we're doing here is we're working with our swivel thumb. So, and the way that razoring works is you can open or close the blade to decrease the amount of hair that you actually take off. So when we want to take off more hair, what we're doing is we're opening up, and this gives us, so if we work at 90 degrees, anything, the more we open this way, the more hair that we will actually work. So this is why it's important to be able to spin and vary the actual angle of the razor to allow us control of how much hair we remove each time we use that blade. So you can see, if I have the blade there, I can go over and over and over and over, and I'm hardly taking anything off at all. Whereas, if I open the blade more, you can see it's only at a slight angle. If we open a lot, we will remove an awful lot of hair. So again, this is where we have the control to actually remove a little or remove a lot. That's when you start to see, look at the shape and the curve in the haircut. So it raises the widest point of the head. But remember, as we're working, because of this shape, the shape should taper down like that. So as we work at an angle down the way, but this area here is still angled to make sure that we follow the line. So if you imagine a couple of inches, we do that all the way down. So again, you still have to angle here. If we were working on a level bob, then the line would be level, inverted, the line inverted. Because we're asymmetric, the line follows the contour and keeps an asymmetrical shape. So just working through, thinning down the top layer, remembering the control. Less hair, we close the blade. More hair, we open the blade. as we work onto the sides, remembering we need to do the side area a little bit less because we have no hair underneath. So just damping the hair down again. We've got a model profile. Okay, you can see our line comes round. Still feel as though I'm a little bit too thick in this area here. But look at the angle. So we angled the razor two ways. This is one, this is another. And then just very slightly on that outer edge. Let's shake the head again. Okay, so can you see the difference now? Well, as we look around the head, we now have the widest point higher through here, and this is where we've actually started to connect the razor with the hair, and that takes that bulk and so on away. Now, one of the things that people ask about why this works is because with the razor being a single blade, what actually happens is the razor itself creates graduation on the ends of the hair, and what this does is it intermingles with all the rest of the hair rather than us going in and creating a sharp, blunt line. And that sharp, blunt line runs the risk of leaving marks in the hair. This is why, to get perfect graduation, we always tend to use the razor just to soften through on this bottom edge. And we can increase or decrease the amount of graduation just by how heavy or how light we actually press on the hair. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to blast dry the hair, and then we're going to work on this front section. Looking good? So you wear it this way. Yeah, okay. So when we look at the front area again, one of the other things that I can see is that look at the amount of, so can you see the thickness in the hair here? So because the hair there is darker and it's heavier, we want to thin some of that weight down. So again, using the razor, just comb the hair down. Right, so I'm just going to take out the extension just there. Okay, so and what we're going to do is we're going to work through just thinning the bulk and weight away from this fringe section. So you can actually see through that a little bit more now. Okay. We're just lifting the hair up, just to check the ends are all soft and texturized. All the way through the ends, nice graduation. Okay, so now we're going to blast dry. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, so we've just gone through and we've flat ironed everything to allow us to see the shape again. Now, it's at this point that you can see what implications doing things like undercutting and so on can have. So you can see there that we've got this line and shape, but there's still a couple of gaps in there, just purely and simply because we're working this shape up, but some of the underneath there is still a fraction shorter. So we're just allowing and sharpening the edges as we finish this line. So gradually, and you can see, as this area of hair here grows, that whole area and line will actually sit and come in rather than having that gap. But what it does is it gives us the shape initially. So if you put your head straight forward, that's perfect. So again, it's just using the swivel thumb scissors so that we can work in whichever direction that we want to work through these neckline areas, and we're just sharpening this whole edge as it comes in. So you can see this gives us a beautiful curve all the way through here. So again, just working through that area, coming down so that we keep the final length exactly the same, working all the way around. Now, one of the things that I found is good to do is to open the scissors right up, actually on the skin, and then come down. Because if you try and do this and go under, sometimes you end up missing some of the hair. So by coming higher up, coming down, this gives you that sharp, blunt edge. So the other thing that we're actually going to do, just to polish this whole thing, is we're going to use a clipper onto it. So by using the clipper, what we're going to be able to do is we are going to be able to give a perfect polished shape. So you can see the small hairs and so on. This just actually reduces all of that individual hair and gives us a perfect blunt edge. So initially we're working on the baseline. The good thing with this is the blade is straight, and so is the line that we're looking to achieve. So not only are we working here, but we're also working down this way to give us the profile of the haircut. So just running the perfect line. Making sure that we keep the client nice and clean. And you can see this gives us a beautiful edge as we work into that shape there. So, and what will happen, even if we tuck this back and around, that shape then works into the back area. That will sit around into the ear, so you can see that gives us a real soft area. Now, we're just going to skim again a little tiny bit through here. Okay, so we're actually looking at the individual hairs now. So what I'm doing is I'm going through these areas and just looking to see if there's anything which we can soften down very slightly. Okay, so rather than me actually create a line in the hair, what we're going to do is we're going to go and use the dry slide shears. So watch what happens when I go to close them. Can you see it pushes the hair away? So what that's actually doing is it's stopping me creating a line in the hair. Just as we work round and under. These are designed to move the hair away. So again, just stopping us creating that blunt line. So because they're dry cutting slide shears as well, just as we work through, again, just by the contour of the blade being beveled outwards, as you close, what's happening is it's pushing the hair away. So again, just making it impossible for us to create any lines in the hair. So if you want to create a line in the hair and precision work, these aren't the scissors to do. These are specifically for not creating lines in dry hair. Okay, so just to recap what we've done, we've sectioned the hair off in, so middle parting all the way down, ear to ear, ear to ear. You can see that the previous haircut was undercut, which she didn't really like, so she's growing that out. So she has a little bit of area over there that we brought over just to give us some sort of length. We have then followed our contour all the way round and down, and what we were finding was that the hair itself here was too long and too thick and bulky. So we've created an asymmetric shape all the way round. We've done two haircuts. One of them is a page, so from here upwards to there, and then the other one is from here, an inverted bob down towards here. So two very straightforward normal haircuts, but because we've combined them from the center, one going up, one coming down, gives us that creation of quite a kind of unique shape. We've then, once we've done the baseline, we've then brought section by section all the way down, sharp baseline in there, and then we've used the razor to go in and graduate all of this edge. So what that will do now, previously the hair was really quite thick and quite bulky on that bottom edge. So just now, as we do this, you can see that that will give a really nice kind of swing and movement to the hair. So, shake your head for me again. So when she does that, that's always going to fall back into shape. And the reason is, we've cut it with a razor. It's a single blade. We've worked from the top area, from the occipital bone here, in a diagonal shape. So we've used the razor, we've worked in a diagonal shape all the way down. There's your diagonal, so higher up here, longer, graduated down through there, and just graduated in, removing all that thickness and bulk. And then flat iron the hair off, and again, because you can see of the shape, it gives a real nice contour through there. And then, just last thing, we've used a clipper to go in, sharpen the neckline off, just to give a real defined sharpness, and then also just polished off the edge through there. As we've worked around on the fringe, same thing again, we've softened through with the razor, still blending this to work with that side. We're still allowing that front area just to be that little